Today on the Transplant Helper, we're going to be talking about the supposed shortage that is coming up in front of us concerning our Prograf, aka tacrolimus, and exactly how the shortage will be affecting us in the near future. Hit the subscribe button and click the bell notification to become part of the Transplant Helper community. Hey folks, welcome to Transplant Helper again today. My name is Jim Merle, and I don't know if you've seen it yet. It's been passing itself around for quite a while now over on Facebook. As a matter of fact, most recently, in my mind, on some of these Facebook groups I'm a member of, it's almost spreading like wildfire, and that is an article that claims that in the very near future there's going to be some sort of supply chain break and a shortage concerning one of our most important medications, Prograf, aka tacrolimus. Now, if you're like I am and you're on the medication, there's no doubt in my mind that a real shortage that might be in front of us may cause some problems. Why is that? Because very simply stated, it is a very important medication. Obviously, it's an anti-rejection medication. It's the most widely used anti-rejection medication among all transplants, whether it's heart, lung, liver, kidney, pancreas, whatever. A lot of time this medication is used, and for most people, it works very well. Okay, now with that being said, anytime anyone comes up and claims there may be a shortage of a medication, it causes me to take note. It causes me to really think or maybe even worry about such. But I'll assure you in this case, there's no need to panic. There's no need to worry. There's no need to get apprehensive or call your pharmacist unless it's time to place an order, because it's just not going to happen, okay? And that really can be explained in only one real fact, and that is, did you know that only about 0.01, that's 0.01, that decimal point, 0 and a 1, percentage of the United States population actually use this medication, Prograf or tacrolimus. Now, it is limited basically to the transplant world. In addition to that, a few cancer, chemo-type patients might be involved, but for the most part, we're the only ones that use that medication. And for that main reason, I see absolutely no way, just no way possible that there's going to be a real supply-type demand, supply chain break, or anything that is going to cause us a problem. Simply stated, because it's not a medication that is in high demand, okay? We are the finite small group that uses it, therefore keeping up with the pace, keeping supply and demand in the right place and order is not that difficult. There's just simply not that many people on the medication. However, let me say, if there is a quote-unquote shortage, and I keep doing the shortage marks, that's what this is. If there is a quote-unquote shortage of the medication, it's not actually coming in because of supply and demand. What's really happening, and we need to be aware of such, what's really happening is these lower cost alternatives or low cost manufacturers, things like Dr. Reedy, such as that. What's really happening is your pharmacist may be wanting the cheapest alternative possible to fill your prescription. In doing that, when they reach out to these very low cost, very high volume manufacturers, it may be that they can't get it at the price that they want, okay? And that's really the key. Now, they may in turn tell you as a customer, as a patient, we can't get the medication, there's a shortage. But what really is happening is there is a shortage of the drug form that they want, which is very low cost, okay? So let's be totally honest about that. The insurance infrastructure of the United States is a mess. The pharmaceutical industry in the United States is a bigger mess than even that. And oftentimes you and I are kind of getting the buck passed to us, claiming that there's some problem, claiming that it's not possible to get medication that we need, or claiming that we can't be approved for such. All because every one of those parties involved on the financial side of things don't want to pay the price. So what can you do about that? You know, how are we going to deal with that? Well, obviously, if you've got an insurance type issue, the only thing you can do is to call your insurance company and try to negotiate, try to beg, try to plead, try to make sure they understand the need for such medications. But in general, for most of us, that's not even the issue. This medication is obviously, especially on the generic side, the tacrolimus side, is not even that of an expensive medication, so it's probably not a break in that. But what we do need to do is make sure we are using an extremely reliable, understanding resource for our medication. And I get it. It's easy to get fallen into or get pushed into by our insurance companies, these big box stores, things like CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Caremark Pharmacy, all this stuff. I get it, okay? And sometimes they seemingly push us in that direction and we have no choice. But when you have a choice, and obviously you do in most cases, when you have a choice, you need to avoid the big box stores, avoid the big chains, things like Walmart and the others that I named, and go to your local pharmacy, particularly if it's available like it is for me. Go to your transplant pharmacy. Perhaps there's one attached to your transplant center, or at least that works closely with them. They understand your need for the medications. They keep these particular medications, things like Prograf and others, they keep those in stock and in big numbers so that they can fill your orders. And they're more than happy, more times than not, even to deal with you if there's a problem on cost, if there's a problem with price, where maybe they have to change a manufacturer. They're more likely to actually vet those manufacturers as being reliable to make sure you're getting good quality medication handed to you before you walk out of the store. So let me encourage you, whenever possible, avoid these big chains, avoid all that stuff. Number one, you're a number. They don't care about you. They don't know the need, and they're not going to treat you right. And go back to your transplant pharmacy, settle in with them, get to know them, and let them treat you like the king or queen you really are. Because you deserve priority as a transplant patient. You deserve, because of the fight you've been through, to get the number one A1 access to great medical care, to great pharmaceuticals, to whatever it is you need to continue to survive. But even with that said, even with a great pharmacist, even with avoiding these supply chain breaks, supposed junk, that's all it is, you still need to do your part. And your part mainly has to do with ordering your medications in a timely manner. Most pharmacies will remind you to order your medication approximately 7 to 10 days before you run out. As a matter of fact, every time I'm in touch with my UAB Specialty Pharmacy, which I love, by the way, thanks UAB Specialty Pharmacy, every time I talk to them, whether I call them or they call me, one of the main questions they ask is, how many days do you have left of this medication? Okay, and they would like for me to say 7 to 10 days. But even if I can, even if I'm not able to do that for whatever reason, slip my mind, whatever, they've got ways to get it to me, okay? They've got couriers. They've got same-day shipping. They've got these things available, or I could easily drive to UAB and pick it up within a matter of a few minutes. You need that access. You don't need someone on the other end of a long chain of lines in another part of the country or another part of the world trying to fill your medications. Shop local, give them 7 to 10 days notice, and I promise you, you will not run out. So I know many of you have already called your pharmacist. You've already asked them about this article. You've already said, hey, can you check on this? Some of them have replied back and say, yeah, we've heard about it. We've seen it. But here's the real story. If they have the pills that you need in stock today to fill your order, don't worry. No need to panic, okay? If they've got your medication, that's you. They care for you, and get it filled if you need it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this cleared up a little bit of the confusion, but again, don't be in a panic. It's not that big of a deal. It's just simply a matter of someone needing to spend $1 to get you the care that you need. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, stay stronger, friends.